Okay, before we start applying our hard gel, we need to pop on a base coat. This is a really important step with hard gel because hard gel is not very flexible. So it needs that little bit of flexibility at the bottom to keep it attached to the nail. So this is just a very thin, you saw the small amount I popped on there, of the edge base coat. It needs to be on the entire nail, leaving a small millimetre marginal gap around those side walls and proximal nail fold area. Make sure that you are brushing off the edge so that you do not leave any lump at that edge. With gel, the more product that gets built up at the free edge, you'll end up with a lump. Pop that into the lamp and cure for 60 seconds. We're then going to get our pot and brush. Now you pick up a bead of hard gel and tap it on the side of the pot. Don't whip it, don't try and flip it onto the brush because you will get an air bubble in there. And with small, very light-handed motion, paint that hard gel onto the nail in exactly the same area that you have just painted that base coat, okay? It shouldn't be any further or any less than what you've just done. It should mirror, every coat should mirror each other. So we're wanting a nice thin coat here. We don't want a lump at the end or anything like that. I know that I say that a lot, but it's important to keep brushing that product off the end so you don't end up with a build-up of product at the free edge. And it must be even, so you can't have different patches of different thicknesses of product. It's got to be nice and even. Once you're happy with that, then let it self level and then pop it in the lamp for 60 seconds. And then you've got two really secure layers, okay, that we know will have cured. So now we're going to do our builder layer. So this nail is really short, so I'm not going to do any more layers. I do explain that on the layering video. But this one here is our slip layer. So as we would with a soft builder gel, we're going to paint a very thin layer of wet gel on our nail. It has to be thin, it has to be even. It can't be bumpy and lumpy and different thicknesses. It has to be thin and even. Be careful again of that build up at the free edge. This is going to allow us to put a structure bead on and for that structure bead to be moved around the nail freely. So we're not going to cure this layer. This is just going to be left wet, and then we're going to pick up with our brush a nice structure bead in order to build the apex on this nail. So I'm going to pick up that bead, tap it on the side, don't whip it because you will put air bubbles in it. So just pick it up onto the side. As you work with hard gel, it does change in its viscosity, so it does go thinner. So I've just popped that on the nail. You can see there I've just offloaded it, and I'm going to just push it slightly to one side of the cuticle and the other so it just reaches the back. The cuticle area with hard gel must be super thin and you must be able to see it. It must be translucent because otherwise it will lift. There shouldn't be a big lip at the back there. And very gently bring that down the middle of the nail, not all the way across, the middle of the nail to the front, okay? We're going to guide it down the sides now with our liner brush, allowing the product to self-level. Okay, so you must allow that product to move and find its level. So wherever you're holding the hand, obviously that's where the gel will go. So bear that in mind. You can tip the hand upside down if you need to with the finger flat and straight if you want to bring it down to that apex point. But if you're not using a lot of product, you shouldn't have to do that. And with a short nail like this, we don't need to be doing that because we're not using loads of product. Moving any excess away from the free edge into the center, into that very, very important stress area. And making sure that I've got product all the way down those side walls and the whole nail has been covered and it is nice and even. And then once you are happy, you've allowed it to self-level and everything is in place. This can take some time, so take your time because it means less filing for you at the end, okay? So once you've got it all into place, you can pop that into the lamp for 60 seconds to make sure that it fully cures. And then you can move on to a finger on the other hand, or you can flash cure it and continue on the same hand. Please don't try and do all 5 fingers at once because the product will not stay, it will move and run. Once that's cured for 60 seconds, your product is ready to be filed or buffed, or if you've applied it really neatly, straight on with your gel polish. And there you have it, a beautifully applied hard gel nail.